We existed before Zionist colonial invasion. We exist now even among the rubble of humanity's remains. We will exist when Zionism is dismantled bit by every racist colonial bit. Let me speak to you. Let me speak to you as a comrade and tell you that we must fight on, that we must rest and breathe and not tire, that our efforts are causing global vibrations and generational change, filling streets from London to Cairo, Amman to Beirut, Istanbul to Sana'a, shutting down Congress, shutting down Grand Central Station, shutting down Highway 101 in San Francisco, having a State Department official resign, a UN human rights officer resign, having Chile, Colombia, and Jordan rescind their ambassadors, watching Bolivia cut its diplomatic ties, listening and witnessing 2,000 plus black allies signing on to a letter in Palestine when 3 million Belgian unionized workers refused to transport Israeli weapons. We have disrupted Senate appropriations hearings asking for more money. We have watched hundreds of artists call for a ceasefire and poll 66% of Americans that oppose this genocide and call for a ceasefire now. That number keeps growing, and as your comrade, I want to ask you and remind you that as we fight on, to be vigilant because repression is growing. To remind you that in our vigilance, we can protect ourselves. We need not cower. Palestine Legal, the only legal institution in the United States dedicated to protecting activists and allies in order to keep fighting, has documented 400 incidents of harassment, abuse, doxing in the past 3 weeks alone. On average, annually, they document 200 to 300 incidents. But in the past 3 weeks, 400 incidents alone. Law students who had their offers rescinded, medical residents who have been fired, editors-in-chiefs of art magazines who have been fired, fashion magazine, entertainment agency executives who have been set aside for opposing genocide. And while this racist, warmongering media and political establishment has led to the stabbing of a 6-year-old Walid Fayyoumi 26 times in his home in Illinois, Allah yarhamak, and the murder of a Muslim woman in Texas, Allah yarhamak, the Biden administration is mobilizing law enforcement to surveil social media of university students struggling for Palestinian liberation. The White House press secretary, in absolute disregard for intellectual honesty and journalistic integrity, and absolute offensiveness to us, anybody with common sense, has compared our calls for ceasefire and an end to genocide to tiki torch marches in Charlottesville. These are incredibly scary times, but incredibly inspiring times of what we are capable of together. We can only win if we stand up and fight back. Do not be silenced, but speak with vigilance. And here, if I can humbly ask for your support to donate to Palestine Legal. For those who have not had the heart, the will, the opportunity, the ability to speak up, donate to Palestine Legal. Help Palestine Legal, which only has 6 staff attorneys taking on this entire edifice. Help them protect the front line so that the rest of us can fight. We need a defensive front, and we have the institutions we need to support them. We also know that a generous foundation has agreed to match that donation that you make this evening. So I end by telling you what we already know, that we will continue until there is a free Palestine, until all our kin are freed from cages. until these lands are free, these stolen lands are free, until all our siblings can live in safety and dignity, until freedom for all. May we be triumphant.